Hello there, viewers and StarCraft lovers. Welcome back to RJB TV with me, your host, RJB. We're going to continue on with the best of set between Team Byul against Team Doromi, and I'll introduce you to all the names that are in these games when we are in the game. Because there's a lot of names involved, because you have a 3v3. A lot of action will be happening, and it will be hard to keep track of, but I'll be doing my best. So far, the games have been really good. We have Byul here on the name SHK on the red Protoss, with teammate Lucky here on the pale blue Protoss on the bottom corner of the map. And they're joined by... It's really... Okay. Levi here. Levi on the 9 o'clock white Zerg. Then we have Doromi here on the pink Protoss. It looks almost exactly like the white Zerg, but difference of course being Protoss and Zerg. We can differentiate them, we can tell them apart. On the minimap we can't, but here we can see the difference. I don't know why Blizzard decided to add these very similar looking colors. It's hard to keep track. Freyja here on the 3 o'clock. He is a hunter's a legend. A legend. I tell you, a legend among the Hunters players. And he's also really good at fastest map. Then we've got EODRN. Don't know who he is, but he is very good because he's playing with all these very good players. Lucky Pack, one of the best fastest players of all time. Then we have Doromi, a former professional, Byul, a former professional, and then we have Levi, also a former professional. So 3 former professionals in this game, joined by 2 experts of their respective maps, and EOD, who I don't know. So we have the Zergs going for early Zergling build orders. They go for... looks like they went for... Actually, they went for a hatchery. He went for the pool first, so a slight difference there. Freyja hatchery, pool gas. Then we have Levi going for pool gas hatchery. So his Zerglings are entering the map a lot faster, but Freyja has 2 more drones, so he will have a little bit more money that might help him further into the game, as he will of course have more money coming into the bank, having 2 more drones in total, and a second hatchery coming in as well. He's going to get Zergling speed very soon. There it is, getting researched. We have Zerglings from Levi walking all over the map. He's going to secure those cannons. They want to wall off Doromi, who is busy protecting his probe from that one zealot there from Byul. So they're going for a containment vessel all around Doromi and take him out of the match, or at least stop him from helping this Zerg ally. And so it turns out that Freyja going for the 1 more or 2 more drones is going to help him out, because he is going to have to defend himself against 3 people, because Doromi is going to get walled off. Doromi tries to get out. Zerglings against Zealots. Zealots there from the back, going to try to surround. Zerglings from Freyja trying to get a catch on Levi's Zerglings, but not going to work out too well for him. Instead, it's Doromi's. Oh, Doromi's micro is so good. Professional players have such good micro. So here they are canceling those cannons that are intended to block off EOD. So they try to wall off 2 players at the same time. That might not work. It's not going to work. Although we have Levi here putting himself into a very good defensive position with the help of Byul there, preventing disaster. We have EOD putting up his own cannons. He might try to turn it into a wall onto Lucky. But looks like Levi, with some really good control and decision making, manages to keep himself safe from harm, safe from losing any drones without a single sunken. Whereas we have Freyja getting a lot of sunken. He's putting his overlords on top of the sunken to make it very hard to click on the sunken when the enemy is attacking that sunken. This is a very... Well, he just moved them. So maybe I was overthinking. With the cannons pushing towards Lucky. Lucky is getting double gas. We have EOD on the single gas, we have Byul on double gas, and we have Doromi on double gas as well. Because those 3 players all have to advance into cybercore technology in order to really affect the map. Whereas EOD can delay that because he's focused on building cannons. He can delay his technology because he doesn't need the technology, yet he needs to build the cannons to seal off Lucky's entrance. Whereas Lucky has to get something like a shuttle, a robotics, he has to get a shuttle, and likewise Doromi has to get a shuttle as well. He's getting double robo and a robotics support bay. We'll be seeing double Reaver shuttle coming onto the map there from Doromi, whereas EOD probably will have to go for Dragoons to protect his own probes from those shuttles that Lucky and Doromi are making. I mean, Lucky... Yeah, Doromi and... I'm a little bit confused. We have Doromi, EOD, and... Oh, wow, my brain is short-circuiting. Yeah, EOD has to protect himself from Lucky and Byul. That's what I wanted to say. It gets confusing sometimes. When there's so many players on the map. But so he's getting walled off. He's building his own cannons here as well to try and prevent the cannons from pushing any further and from keeping this small little gap on the top side open by building his own cannon, so that when a cannon from EOD gets built right here, the cannon here will kill the cannon warping in. Zerglings walking into Byul's base. Byul is retreating back home. Zealots from the ROM being shuttled across the hill. He's got 8 zealots there on the scene. 3 more coming in. Double Reaver in production. They're back at home. Gonna pick them up once the shuttle unloads. Zealots there from Byul returning back home. We have Zerglings there from Freyja trying to get a catch onto Levi, but EOD is gonna help him out. Wait, it's EOD and Freyja are together. Excuse me. Levi is on his own. As everyone is occupied fighting, he's defending himself. We have an attack here from the ROM onto Byul. He seems to have lost the shuttle and the Reaver. No, the Reaver and the shuttle are going towards Levi. Levi is in a lot of... Levi might just die. There's nothing to help him, nothing to protect him. This move from Freyja, EOD, and Doromi is beautifully executed, even though the other team managed to somewhat seal off the map. In a sense, it looks like Levi is the first to pay the price, and he will die. Byul now has to make a choice. Where is Byul gonna go? Is he gonna go attack Doromi, who has a lot of Reavers, a lot of cannons to protect himself? He's gonna go for it. Will it work? We have units there being shuttled over from Lucky onto EOD. He's got a lot of cannons. We have double Reaver there in the back as well. It's a double Reaver strategy from 2 players on the map. There's one. It's 4. Reaver against Reaver. Lucky there seems to get the catch onto Doromi because Doromi is also defending here back at home. He's got a Dark Templar there on the scene to protect himself. He's going to lose that Templar's Archive there though. It's under attack. Byul's gonna have to retreat very soon, but now we got Zerglings here from... Oh, so much is happening all over the place. EOD is dying now as well. Well, he's still alive for now, but he is pretty much dead and gone. We have some Zerglings there from Freyja going on to Byul. Levi is definitely dead. He has got some drones alive, but nothing to do with those drones. Doesn't have money for another hatchery. Attack there gets repelled from Freyja. Byul is safe. EOD lost his Nexus. Doesn't have money to build another one. He is pretty much dead and gone. Oh, he cancels units. And is probably going to relocate somewhere else. We got Freyja there having some Hydralisks entering this base from Byul. But Byul's production is on point. Byul also has units here inside of Doromi's base with support from an Overlord from Levi to push onto those gateways and try to kill them. But he's got triple Reaver in the back and 1 more on the way, I assume. So 2 players are out of the race. They're just going to join the fight with their probes and their drones. Actually, correction. Okay, yeah, he's definitely out of the race. He's going to just finish off those drones while he can. Hylas here on the middle fighting against Dragoons. So the game is effectively turned into a 2v2 Protoss against Protoss Zerg. I would give the advantage to the Protoss Zerg. I would give them the advantage. They do seem to have the lead at the moment. Dark Templars are chasing those Dragoons down. Dragoons have relocated to the cannons, but they're out of detection range, so the Dragoons still go down. Rom's got to turn around with those. I believe they're on the side. So the Rom secured the perimeters of his base. Got units there flanking from Lucky. They got shuttled over or they simply ran through without any care for their own lives. But they saved Byul there, although Byul did seem to be completely fine. But Freyja there on 23 drones, 51 supply. They are a little bit behind as both Freyja and Doromi have less supply than their opponents. Lucky there is very rich, 46 probes. double robo, got all the technology he needs, and he's filling out the remainder of his base with a shuttle drop prepared to go and take Freyja's drones. But Freyja has an overload there on the hillside. He can see those shuttles. No longer, he can no longer see them, but he could see them just earlier with a little bit of vision there on the edge. So Byul now 47, Lucky 47, Freyja 22, Doromi 43. So far, the situation is not looking too good for Team Byul. I mean, for Team Doromi, excuse me. Team Doromi's situation is looking a little bit dire, but Doromi is growing bigger pretty quickly. We have a drop there from Doromi going onto Lucky. He's just pushing on the side, killing cannons to open up a pathway towards those probes, while the drop is happening onto Freyja, who lost 3 drones to the storm drop, dodged with most of them. And yeah, Doromi is just being annoying while multitasking back at home. Looking just for anything to kill, anything to hit. He does not want to waste those Reavers. He can't really go in. He's going to pick off individual High Templars with micro. Very good stuff. Slowing down Lucky's follow-up drops, giving Freyja more time. Whereas it looks like EOD finishes Nexus, so he is still in the race, whereas Levi is definitely out of the race. So EOD can now start to recover. Drop comes in on to... No, that is a friendly shuttle. It's hard to keep track of all those things happening all at once. Maybe this is easier, but then I lose track of who's who. Reavers unloading. Reavers cannot shoot. Probes stay alive. Lucky has a little bit of luck on his side as usual. That's why he's got the name Lucky, because sometimes you gotta brute force yourself into a situation of being lucky. Now that shuttle's never gonna get through. Byul's got a lot of Dragoons on the scene. Shuttle makes its way out. Good control, gets one single shot off. At least he did something. Big unload there onto EOD. Kept his probes alive, but now we've got High Templars coming in. It's 4 shuttles all filled up, but a lot of units unloading here on the scene. Well, only a couple of units actually. It's only a couple of units, but there were already a lot of them there. We have Freyja. The side's against helping him out because he's busy dodging storm drops here back at home. The Hydralisks are not coming in to help him. Drop there coming into Lucky's base. Although the big attack is happening onto Doromi, but let's look at the drop first. Fails to unload anything because he's occupied defending here back at home. He had to do 2 things at the same time. It's very, very difficult to do. Byul has an overpowering army supply. His army supply is getting intercepted here by Freyja, who's attacking onto Byul. And Lucky still not really allowed to enter the map. He's still blocked in, walled off, mostly using shuttles to try and kill Freyja or hurt Freyja really, really badly. Templars on the scene. Templars misses the storm. He's got more storms there ready to go. Not enough. Oh, he hits a couple of drones, but 19 stay alive. He lost about 6 or 7, maybe even he lost 9 of them. But that was a big hit. Drop there comes out onto Byul. His Dragoons were sent to attack. Now there's nothing left to defend you back at home. It's a pretty good storm. Kills 9 probes. Most of the probes ran to safety. And it looks like EOD is having some trouble finding a new base because there's zealots all over the place. So he's going to have to raise because Byul is giving chase. Gonna run through those cannons and find probably the top corner on the map. Drop tries to sneak in yet again. It's mostly just a lot of drop play happening at the moment between all these players. They're just trying to keep the economy small of Freyja. Freyja is the main target of those drops, while Doromi is trying to hit both Lucky and Byul. He's had some success on to Byul, but no success yet on Lucky, who's got Reavers in the back to one-shot those High Templars unloading. Just put them there, give them some scarabs, and they will shoot all on their own. It's easier than Dark Archons, but Dark Archons secure the kill 100% for sure. Templars unloading, Reavers not shooting, Reavers too slow. Oh, gets a huge hit there onto Lucky, kills 30 probes. He had the Dark Archons on the scene to go for the feedback, but the feedback didn't happen in time. High Templars killed the probes. So now Doromi is in a pretty good position, although he did lose, I think, about 10 of his own probes just now, because he went down to 50, and he was on at least 60. He's going for another shot onto Lucky, while Freyja got 32 drones now, and he's sending his Hydralisks in the middle to break that cannon contain that's keeping Doromi from entering the middle. So that will be taken out. Drop comes in yet again. Will the feedbacks come out on time? High Templar, Storm High Templar hits pretty well. Not very well, but pretty well. Most of the probes do stay alive. Lost about 8 or so. He's got double Nexus. He's the only player... No, not the only player. Byul also has double Nexus. Just Doromi is staying on the single Nexus play. Something that kind of personifies and describes him. He plays it all out on small economy and just does the most he can with the least he can. Drop comes into Byul's base, gets taken down. Lucky has no observer, and there's lurkers inside of Freyja's base here, so cannot get in there. No observers from Byul either. Do they have observatories? I don't see an observatory in Byul's base, so it's going to take a while before they can enter an attack and breach the front door. We have no observers in production there from Lucky, but he might have observers somewhere on the map. Actually, no observers at all, not making them either. He does have the observatory, but he's not making the observers. So Doromi tries to enter the middle. Byul not gonna let that happen. 68 probes, 38 probes now for Lucky. He's fallen behind a little bit because of those 2 hits on his economy. They've done their job, but he's gonna have to hit him again. Drop comes in on the Doromi. He's constantly dodging those storms, running to safety. There's 3 High Templars too far away to hit those probes though, but hits 2 or 3 anyway, so at least something got hit. We have Freyja coming to help his ally, but Lucky was lying in wait there on the middle. He's gonna cut off and he's gonna just surround that army from Freyja and make sure that army dies here on the middle. Freyja though, 35 probes, drones, 35 drones, has not really been allowed to grow much bigger. He's kind of always busy dodging the storms. This one sunken there is kind of blocking the escape path for those drones. It's annoying. Like what happens is he runs away, they run into the sunken after they then walk around the sunken. It's slowing down his drop dodging. Big drop. Doromi ready to go onto Byul. Byul, a lot of dragoons in between, ready to protect. EOD recovering on the top corner because found out by Lucky, which now means those probes have to run away yet again. Every single time he's got some money coming into the bank, he's forced to run away, but he has enough money for another Nexus. But these might both die before he builds that second new Nexus. Drop again on the Doromi. High Templars unload too far away yet again. This one is closer, but still too far away. 52 probes escape and stay alive. Doing some cannons on the side. Lucky down 53 probes. He's recovered really well on his double Nexus. We have Freyja down 49. Freyja is entering the part of the game where he will very soon be very, very big. He just needs a little bit more time to grow a little bit bigger. He needs like 1 or 2 more minutes and then he will reach critical velocity, but drop comes in, running to safety. High Templar's too far away to hit those drones. High Templar's too far away to hit the drones. He's got 1 more High Templar ready to storm. They're on the top corner, but does it have energy? Nope, it does not. So Byul there a little bit sloppy with his drop. He had to dodge another drop himself. He's now got 70 hit. He had 75 probes, so he lost only 5. So he got off pretty much unharmed. Almost maxed out supply for both the enemy Protoss players. Whereas Freyja and Doromi are still struggling with building their bigger bases, their bigger armies. They're definitely behind, but it's just the nature of the game. Protoss Zerg has a hard time against Protoss, specifically when the Zerg is sandwiched in between 2 Protoss players. They got the double corner spawns. It's just easier to play from the double corner spawn. And looks like we have EOD still alive. He's got a pylon somewhere. I don't know where, but a pylon is somewhere. He's still alive. Oh, right there. There's a pylon right here. There's a pylon. Drop comes in onto Byul. Byul is running to safety. Templars unload. Oh, he's had multiple shuttles, but the one with the High Templars got sniped pretty early on. It was a little bit surprising to me that this game we do not have a lot of big armies flying back and forth or moving or attacking. It's just a lot of shuttle drops and defending against shuttle drops. Nobody has really committed to an all-in fight in someone else's base except for Byul. He was inside Doromi's base once or twice but hasn't gone back there yet. He's not leaving a favorable review. He wasn't very well received. Not a very good vacation destination. Comes in yet again. He's trying to bring in some tourists, High Templars, hitting storms, hitting pretty hard storms. Doromi lost pretty much all of his probes. He ran away too late. He's got 13 probes alive. I think that's the game as the drop comes out onto Freyja. And he's going to hit... Oh, most of his drones go down as well. Down to 17. Both players are down in the dumps. And Byul and Lucky seem to be in a position where they can definitely win this game. But first, he's going to have to break his contain, which shouldn't be too hard, although he's got no observers and we have got lurkers there in the middle, so he should be contained for a little while longer. You really would think that 20 minutes into the game against a Zerg player, he would have observers or something like it. I mean, Lucky does not have observers either. Neither... Oh, there's an observer. Okay, I found one. There's the one on the top as well. He's got 2 observers. Entering the middle, there's lurkers in between. Kill the reavers or the lurkers on the middle. Kill the lurkers on the middle. Observer arrives on the scene, breaking out into the middle. Observers from... Oh, Byul has observers. Losing his probes, though. Well, probes actually are still alive. They're into safety. Zealots are killing the cannons. This is Doromi's last attempt at trying to stay alive and win the game, which doesn't seem to be going very well. He killed about 10 probes, killing a couple more. Probes are returning. Archon can have a great day if he can hit them. Can't quite get on top of them. Big army barging into his front door, whereas Lucky is trying to break into Freyja's base. Now it's 30 drones. Not enough to recover anytime soon. Second nexus there from Doromi. Byul far away from his main nexus, so he has 2 nexuses after all. But look at this, it's just too much. They're also pretty well upgraded. 3 attack, 3 armor. Just an overpowering, overwhelming force. 2 attack there for Doromi, 0 armor, 0 shield, whereas Lucky is on 001. So Byul pretty much just the MVP of this best of set so far. He's been playing exceptionally well every single game. He's been playing exceptionally well every single game. They call GG, that's it. Game number 3 goes to Team Byul as well. Let me update that score on the top real quick because we got 3 wins for Team Byul, no wins for Team Doromi. Things are not going too well for Doromi's team. Freyja, EOD, and Doromi just can't quite ever in these matches get the advantage over Byul's team. Byul's team just seems to always make slightly better choices in pretty much every single situation. Their teamwork, their strategy, just a tiny little bit more on point. It's all in the small little details of execution and communication at this level of play, because their skills are pretty much all the same. Their skills are pretty much all the same. So it all comes down to synergy. How well do these players work together? EOD, yellow Protoss, top right of the map. Freyja, middle right of the map here on the Zerg yet again. And then we have Doromi on the Terran, his main race from when he was a pro player. His pro days, he played Terran. He got into ASL. He's really good on the normal maps. He's really good on Terran. Then we have Levi, top left of the map on the Zerg. He used to be a Zerg professional. He went by the name Hogil. Hogil here on the Zerg. Then we have Lucky on the Protoss, bottom left of the map. Red Protoss and Byul here on the name SHK, white Terran. He was also a Terran professional, made it into ASL not once, but twice. So that's a pretty impressive achievement, because not a lot of people make it into the ASL once, and even less of them make it into the ASL twice. Not many people can say they played in ASL twice. So that's a very impressive feat from Byul that he managed to achieve. It was slightly different, actually, the same build orders from Doromi and Byul. Going for barracks in the choke first on a supply, followed by a supply depot and a gas. The gas after supply depot. They'll have Marines entering the map pretty fast. It turns out that's pretty important. Turns out it's pretty important to have at least some Marines to defend yourself with, getting the second supply depot there. in the front. And a bunker behind it, but Doromi is skipping out on the bunker. So Byul is spending a little bit more cash on getting better protection for himself, whereas Doromi, also with a slightly faster gas, will have his factory starting about 4 or 5 seconds faster than... No. He didn't start his factory yet. He's building a bunker in front of Levi's base to make sure that when Levi tries to leave his base, not gonna live up to his name, Levi, he wants to leave my base, but nope, not gonna leave, he's gonna stay contained. The bunker there is gonna make sure that whenever Zerglings walk through, they take damage. And he's going for a lair, because you can see this, you can see it with his Overlord. He's going for a lair instead of Zerglings. He's adapting and adjusting really quick. He did make some Zerglings, but he's largely just going to go for a lair into Mulelisks. I assume Mulelisks. Because Mulelisks also counter the early factory build order, because there will only be tanks and vultures, and if you got Mulelisks in the mix, the tanks and vultures, they don't like that, and neither do the SCVs. It will most likely not have an engineering bay yet, and turrets to protect them. There's a very good play here from Levi to adapt and adjust. Getting an Evo Chamber. He's actually going for spores? The double starport that are coming from Doromi. This is very interesting stuff here from Doromi. And from Byul as well. They're both going for double factory, double starport to try and harass the Zerg players. Because the rates, there will be no Dragoons, no Hydralisks, no Spores, no Goliaths, no Marines to stop the raids from killing drones. So it looks like we have Freyja going for a different direction than Levi, because Freyja has to protect himself against vultures from Byul. Zealots there from EOD on the middle of the map as well. I'm going to try to make sure this stays alive and Levi stays contained. They got some information gathering going on there. They saw the spores. They saw... I'm not sure if you saw the Spire, but it's safe to assume a Spire is there. They're going for an attack onto Levi, because Levi was lowballing his defense. Builds an Evo Chamber there to protect the Sunken in the back, building 3 more Sunken there to make sure that he has enough Sunken to stay alive. He's got about 13 drones. Sunken there on the top finished up. These two are walling it off. Drones being pulled to try and secure the area by making it hard to get in there. A fight happening in the front as well. Zealots from Lucky trying to get into Doromi's space, but Doromi seals up the front door really quickly, while Michaeling his vultures are on the back side. Vulture there from Byul assisting in taking down the vultures while the Zealots are chasing around. We have an attack there onto Levi that is not really being very successful. He did force him to lose some time mining. He's going to disrupt his timings for his Mulelisks. He's got the Spire finished up. Mule is on the way. Dragoons from EOD are hurting him really, really badly. Drones have to run away to the other side because he's taking down the Spore colony. Putting back drones on the gas. We broke through Doromi's choke here, so Zealots are inside of his base. He cancelled one starport because he needed more money to defend himself against the Zealots that are breaking through his base. This game is hectic. This game is chaotic. A lot is happening. More Zerglings coming from across the map. Where is his friend? Where is his ally? What is Lucky doing? Or maybe what is Byul doing? The question, the answer is what is Byul doing? Byul is going for raids to try and attack Doromi, because Doromi has no anti-air yet. He got slowed down too much, so this is a killing blow, or at least hopefully a killing blow on Doromi. Dragoons in the base. Mines all over the place, trying to kill the Dragoons. Dragoons started stepping forward. He needs tanks. He needs tanks, he needs Goliaths, he needs rates. Everything. Things not looking pretty for Doromi here. He takes a lot of damage. And Levi is pretty much dead and gone because we have a lot of Dragoons in his base killing his stuff. Lucky there cannot really do too much to keep Levi alive, but Doromi is dying at the same time. Whereas we have Freyja now on 11 drones, make it 15. Spire on the way, single gas, 500 gas in total. He will have 6 Mules entering the map. Cloak there from Byul, the very fast raid strategy is working out really, really nicely. As Doromi is just losing and bleeding. He has got Dragoons from EOD on the scene, but the raids they have Cloak will soon run out though. So when the Cloak runs out, Dragoons can kill the raids. They will have to run away to safety. Turrets are coming in, but as SCVs that are building turrets are going down. tanks in the front sieging up. A lot is happening at the same time, but Levi is dead and gone yet again. He's in the last 2 games, he's been the first player to get taken down because they just focus him and single him out really, really well. The coordination is really, really good. But will Lucky and Byul still win this game? Doromi, 5 SCVs, does not have much remaining. Byul now transitioning away from the raids into dropships and tanks. 2 factories on the scene. We have Levi eliminated again. Again eliminated. Not allowed to watch the match. He's gonna have to sit and wait outside in the lobby in the channel. Not allowed to see what's happening here. There are Templars from Lucky in the base. Mine explodes. Kills the last remaining SCV that was there. Does not have money for a turret. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Actually, there's a turret coming in right there on the bottom side. He had to cancel something. You have to try to repair this. Does this turret actually detect? No, he knows he's not detecting, so he runs away. The turret was a little bit too far out of range. The Templar on the top could have killed the CC. Had to lift it off and run to safety, but now an attack there onto Lucky. It was a pretty strong choke, but cannon and target fired. Mutus from Freyja coming in. Freyja wants to do some harm here. Pretty strong fighting force. Tanks from Doromi there to assist. They're just going to finish him off while they can, but they don't have detection on the scene. Overlords are not there yet. Does he have Overlord speed? No. No Overlords on the scene, so the Mulists are going to die. Actually, EOD got an Observer. Raids are useless against an Observer, so they do die. Lost the Valkyrie as well. Tank sieging up very close, but a little bit too close. Observer still in the back. Tanks are going to go down to the DTs. The Goons are trying to stop them, but no, tanks go down. Didn't get any of the probes, so a little bit too greedy from Doromi there, and he's out of army. He's got nothing left to fight with, except I think 2 or 1 SCV. 1 SCV and a dropship. He's flying into Lucky's base, into Byul's base to see what Byul has. So information gathering duty, that's what Doromi is up to now. Lucky is dying. Got a Reaver in the back, but a lot of the goons here hammering into that front gateway section. Doromi's dropship flying back and forth. He can see everything that Byul has in his base at the moment. EOD is winning this game. He's carrying pretty hard. He's got a lot of supply. Lucky is dying. Down to 60, half of EOD's supply. Byul on 87. Looks like the starport strategy, while it did kill Doromi, does have its weaknesses in the sense that he has been delayed a lot. In terms of his tanks, his dropships, they've all been delayed in exchange for those raids. So Freyja now on 29 drones, 57 supply, going for a small attack there onto Byul, but Byul has Goliaths, got Valkyries. Mutalisks not too good against that, but oh, Scorch gets a hit on the Valkyrie. Mutalisk finish it off. Thanks to the high ground. No problem taking that one down. Throws behind the high ground there, though, might be slightly troublesome, but the micro with the Mutus is too good. Turrets barely get to shoot. That rhyme? Yes, that rhymed. So Lucky is trying to snake his way up here by trying to build more gateways under cannon protection, but there's simply too many Dragoons. Not going to be too hard taking that all down. Structures flying all over the place to give vision. The command center managed to evacuate. Lucky, Doromi is once again mining. He's building gateways inside of Byul's base because he cannot build gateways in his own base because there's Dragoons killing everything that is being built just outside of cannon protection. So EOD there gets more Dragoons into this base. 155 supply, Byul 116. 52 probes for EOD, 28 drones for Freyja. We got 57 SCVs for Byul. He's got an armory actually. So left 1 attack there for air is on the way. With 1 attack for tanks finished up. We have 1 forge there for EOD. You just go all in on killing Lucky. If they can kill Lucky, they can turn the game into a 1v2 for Byul, and that's not good for Byul, but they're struggling with pushing forward. The Reavers behind the cannons are doing a great job of keeping those Dragoons away for now. They have to hit Lucky's economy. Finds a good spot there where the Reavers cannot hit the Reaver from EOD. So the Reaver's got free fire, nothing to stop it. He's trying to push forward tiny little bits by tiny little bits. Lucky is building drops inside of Byul's base, that's his name, Byul's base, who's pushing onto Freyja with tanks beyond the hill. EOD's got a tough choice, either finish off Lucky or protect Freyja, who's having trouble against this combined Valkyrie Goliath army that Byul is unloading beyond the high ground. Lucky though, Lucky's gonna die. Reaver shuttle Michael there on the side. He's got 4 Reavers in total, but a lot of Dragoons coming in. They just keep on coming and they keep on coming, and more are coming from across the map, ready to finish off Lucky. When Lucky is dead, Byul will have a difficult game ahead of him. Although Freyja is taking some pretty big amounts of damage here. Tanks reaching up very close to the drones. Drones running to safety. Does not get a shut off on those drones, so that most of the drones do stay alive. They're really having trouble killing everything here on the side. They're having a lot of issue. There's a lot of the Goliaths. This position is very well fortified. The tanks are strong. Goliaths are strong against the air. Tanks strong against the ground. Tanks beyond the hill, providing a lot of support. This position is almost unbreakable. Shuttle fly. Oh, EOD makes a small little mistake there. Loses the shuttle. Got another one there though. They'll try to unload on top of the tanks. Gets a High Templar on the scene. High Templar Storms kills a couple of tanks, but the Hive is under attack. And all Freyja has is a couple of those Mutalisks. And it looks like Lucky stayed alive miraculously, although now we have the real attack coming in. Freyja saw that there were no cannons, which means the Mutalisks got free fire on those cannons and probes and Reavers that cannot shoot up into the air anymore. So Lucky is dead. Still has minerals here though. Does he have the probe? The probe is gone. Drop comes in onto EOD. Probes running to safety. High Templar ready to storm. Hits a good storm. 45 probes to stay alive though. Most of them escape, but Byul now 74 SCVs with a pretty big base and support from Lucky. Although Lucky here, as I said before, he's dying. He's dying a miserable death. He cannot fight back. He's got nothing that can shoot up into the air. He's done for. We have Doromi. 9 SCVs. He's recovering slowly. It's been a slow process, but some units around the middle of the map placing mines. He's using his factories to place mines on the map, so he's contributing. He's doing something. So technically, we have EOD and Doromi against Byul. Freyja has no minerals. No minerals to build anything. He has no minerals to build any more hatcheries to build a new base somewhere else. He's trying to bring back those drones. We have tanks in the middle from Byul there, securing the middle, but we have Zealots coming in to try and take back control. Try and take back control. Yeah, Lucky's done for. He's building a new Nexus though, inside of Byul's base. So he's got a new source of income soon here, live on the scene. With that Nexus, he can start anew. Oh, Mutas are taking down those drop tips. Gonna have to run away though. The mic. Oh no, who's gonna win this one? Mutas are taking heavy damage from the Valkyries. A good play there to have the Valkyrie in the mix there as well. His upgrades are currently on level 1 attack still. Still level 1 attack. Level 1 attack for both ground and air. We have the Zealous there on 000. EOD didn't get a single upgrade. Not one. Getting a second Nexus there though. We have the ROM. He's recovering. 15 SCVs. Looks like Byul hasn't found out about Drom's new vacation home. Freyja is supply blocked, but he's mining with drones. trying to save up for more. We've got Scourges going in to intercept those dropships. Valkyrie's going to try to kill the Scourge, but the dropships do get taken down. 3 of them stay alive. But then he's got tanks on the high ground. Right there from Doromi. Gets sniped. Oh, a little bit too close to the sun. A little bit too close to the sun. Big attack there from the last couple of units Lucky had are killing and finishing off Freyja. He had a shuttle with High Templar in the mix as well. Freyja has got 1 drone. Nope, no drones. He's got a new base here though on the top corner, but Byul can see it with his 2 Valkyries. He knows it's happening. And looks like Byul also now knows that Doromi is recovering on the 12 o'clock spawn location. Game has pretty much turned into a 1v1. Well, that's like a 1v1.1. I think Doromi and Freyja at this point make up for 1/10 of a player. About 1/10 of a player. But Byul is big, a lot of economy. And he simply's got more upgrades going as well. He's got more production. EOD is trying to recover from that small little storm drop he got hit by earlier. He's catching up. He needs more upgrades. He's getting upgrades. He's getting weapon and armor. Getting scarab damage as well. Not a lot of gateways. He's making do with what he's got. The pace is so high this game that EOD can't really spend too much time on building a bigger base. He's got to just keep racing and racing against the clock. Big, good storm drops onto Doromi, but Doromi is trying to dodge them really well. The Wraiths and the Mutas take down the High Templar, take down the shuttle. Lucky he's got 26 probes mining here inside of Byul's base, and he is recovering slowly, very slowly. Looks like Byul is having trouble taking over the map. He's having trouble because every single time he takes his position on the high ground, his stuff gets taken down. Freyja, oh, the Valkyries got taken down there by Doromi, so Doromi looking out for his ally Freyja, who has 5 drones now, trying to recover 200 minerals, not a lot. Yeah, EOD is basically playing protection duty, trying to keep both Freyja and Doromi alive. Whereas Lucky is also trying to recover, so 3 players are trying to recover. Whereas Levi's corpse still lies buried here on the 9 o'clock spawn location. Drop comes in, snaking through. EOD not responding to this one. EOD is busy killing those tanks at the high ground. Loses his probe, 16 left alive. Very bad timing for EOD. It just snuck right through. It just snuck right on through. All the way to the Nexus. EOD, that was the one thing that you could not afford to let happen. But Lucky snuck his way through. He snaked that shuttle all the way over his 3 o'clock base. Managed to avoid getting seen by anything whatsoever. And arrived on location, which now gives Byul the sign. It's time to go. EOD, 22 probes. Only 3,000 minerals left in the bank. Not a lot to produce with. And Doromi does not have tanks yet because he's been so busy building raids to fly back and forth sniping dropships, which now Byul has completely given up on. He's given up on the dropships. So the raids, they somewhat lose their value. He's taking down... No, he's losing the raids. Some of them do escape. The Valkyrie's there with the scan. Superior fighting power. Superior firepower. And it looks like Freyja had to run away again. Freyja got eliminated, so both Zerg players don't make it out alive. A big drop there from Doromi. Onto Doromi from Byul. Byul! Yeah, Doromi is dead and gone as well. EOD is trying to recover, but another storm drop from Lucky onto his economy. 22 probes stay alive. He didn't hit too many. He lost about 6 or 7, but looks like Team Byul wins yet again. Just too strong. Byul and Lucky have been absolute MVPs in the previous 2 games, where they basically won both those 3 games playing 2v3. So very impressive play there by Lucky and Byul, who are proving to be the superior duo. Whereas Levi, the problem is Levi just gets targeted every single start of the game. Levi is just the first player on the hit list to take out for Team Doromi. They just like every single time they say, hey Levi, nice to meet you, but you have to die right here, right now. And maybe that is because Levi is just so good that they put all their eggs in one basket, and that is killing Levi. And it turns out it hasn't quite worked yet so far. So we have game number 5. Levi, Protoss, red, middle right. Then we got Byul, Zerg, bottom right. White color, Lucky, pink Protoss, or magenta Protoss, bottom middle of the map. Then we got Freyja, Protoss, top right of the map. Got Doromi on the Terran, purple Terran, bottom left. Flash's color, Flash always picks purple. When he can, he plays purple Terran. EOD, yellow Protoss, again on the yellow color, on the 9 o'clock spawn location, middle left of the map. Protoss, Terran against Protoss, Zerg, Protoss. So it looks like they went Protoss random. So we get to see something different than a mirror matchup, and that is honestly quite interesting. Because now we're going to see dynamics and interplay between these two teams that you wouldn't ever see in any mirror matchup. Byul going for the spawning pool gas hatchery build order for very quick Zerglings with Zergling speed. A strategy that we also do a lot in the Western scene. It's just really fun, really strong for the early game. And we always try to end games very early. So Levi went for gateway, forge. All the other players did the same thing. So all the Protoss players are doing the exact same thing the other ones are doing. They're just all copycats. Doromi there though with the supply depot gas, barracks, double factory, double order. Building a bunker as well to keep his entire base safe from harm. Got a wall being built here in this entrance. He's gonna build pylons and 2 cannons behind it to keep Doromi contained. And the Zerglings from Byul are gonna make sure that those pylons and cannons will finish. It's the job of the Zerglings to protect these cannons. EOD trying to snake around and find it, but not allowed to really use the Zealot to much effectiveness because we have Zerglings pushing it back to his main base. Zealot there from Lucky was also on vacation, paying a visit. Lost 1 probe in total. Cannon finishes up. Zerglings have to run away. When the cannon finishes up, the Zerglings can no longer really do much here. Except when he manages to sneak through. Like, there's one situation where the Zergling can still do a lot of damage is when EOD makes a mistake, moves out too far, and the Zerglings sneak in from behind. So an attempt being made onto Freyja. His Zealots are a little bit out of position. The cannon is exposed in the back, but he doesn't go in. He'd rather play it safe than try to kill the cannon and lose all the Zerglings after killing the cannon, because the Zealot's coming in from behind. So there's just a lot of running back and forth and containments being set up to keep EOD and Doromi from entering the map. There's 2 cannons and 2 pylons there to keep Doromi blocked. Vultures simply cannot break through. They don't do a lot of damage against buildings. They actually do 1/4 damage against buildings. Only 1/4, a quarter. So he's getting double machine shop on triple vulture. Very risky stuff. But Team Byul doesn't know that he's risking it this hard. So double machines are finished up, getting 2 tanks on the way, getting vulture speed and mines. He's delaying the siege mode. He wants to get mines and speed first. EOD gonna build his own cannons here in front of the cannons from Lucky. Because Lucky is in fact building a gateway there in the front. And EOD has to kill the gateway with cannons before he can try to break through that wall here in the middle. He's gonna build cannons here, maybe a cannon right here in the front as well to hit on that gateway. That's what he's up to. Second gateway there from Lucky. So Lucky is trying to make the entrance as small as possible. That's why the gateways have to die. So Doromi tries to break through, but there's too many Zerglings, too many cannons. Can't brute force it yet. Has to wait for siege mode. Getting an armory as well. We have Byul already on a lair, getting Mulisk's Spire finished up, which means Doromi has to get Goliaths and turrets very quick. The engineering bay almost finished up, turrets will soon be on the way, and so will the Goliaths. Scourges are coming in first. Scourges coming in first. Corsair is coming out from EOD to counter the Mutalisk. This is very different from everything else I've seen so far. Freyja building a choke, Zealots there attacking Levi's Zealots and Dragoons. And looks like Levi should win this fight. Maybe he won't. 5 gateways, getting a Templar's Archive for their Templars. Scourge is trying to protect the tanks, but the tanks have Scourges in the air that are keeping the Corsairs away from protecting them. The Mutas there, though, didn't do too much. We have Goliaths and turrets here on the scene. Doromi has a great combination of units. Lucky Levi trying to break through this choke that Freyja is desperately trying to beefen up, make stronger with more cannons. Zelda's trying to buy time, but the micro on display from Levi is always very good. 6 gateways, 5 gateways, triple gateway from Lucky, but he's largely building cannons to keep Doromi and EOD contained within their bases. And yeah, I'm surprised by the Corsairs from EOD. Haven't seen it too much or too often. But it's all to protect those tanks. All to protect the tanks that Doromi is building. Doromi might want to put some of his tanks on the high ground, but I don't see a starport yet. He's not making a starport either. Going for 2 more factories, so no hill tanks coming out very soon. Anytime soon. Slowly building new cannons a little bit further away from the ones that were killed. He's just trying to buy as much time as he can to let Byul get as many Mutalisks as he can, and to let Levi become as big as he can. 3 more gateways on the way. He's got 9 in total. We have more gateways coming out from Freyja, who still can't really enter the middle because we've got a large ball of Dragoons sitting outside waiting. Overlord's getting taken down. Byul just can't do too much. I'm really impressed by those Corsairs. They're doing a great job of keeping Byul from really being effective with the Mutalisks, also supply blocking him again and again. You got a lot of Mutalisks here though. It's over 14. That's 11, I see about, 15, like exactly 1 over 14. 15 in total. Now the Mutas are great against the Zealots. The Zealots are not too good against Mutas because the Zealots can't shoot up. So Mutas have a free firing time, pushing Freyja back to his home. He has to get Dragoons, or Archons, or High Templars. He just has to get something that can shoot up into the air and kill the Mutalisks. Something. He's trying to go for a backstep attack, hoping that Freyja does not have a lot of cannons in the back, and sniping whatever he can on the sides. Great storm there, snipes the High Templar there though. Doromi pushing forward slowly into the middle. A lot of tanks, a lot of mines, a lot of Goliaths. Now we have a big army from all the 3 players of Team Byul moving about, setting up a surround. They're setting up a surround. They really want to go for Doromi because Doromi, while he's got a lot of supply, is easiest to kill with this big army. They're waiting for Freyja to move out, but Freyja is not going for it. Freyja is not going for it. There he goes. There he goes. He's gonna try to flank from behind. A lot of Zealots from EOD. He's waiting for his time to strike. So we have a big army from Lucky and Levi on the middle. And 3 bigger armies that are waiting to surround this one army that's standing on the middle. He's gonna have to retreat. He is retreating. Is he going for it? They're going for it. High Templars going down, storming the Mutalisks. We got Zealots there coming from our EOD into the middle. Courses in the air to snipe those Mutalisks. We have a big fight happening. Gonna have to zoom out a little bit to see everything happening all at once because we have 3. This is the biggest fight so far in all these 5 games. Units from everywhere, from every single player on the middle, having a party. They're ready to rock. Who's gonna win this though? Who's gonna win this though? Big army there from, oh, looks like Lucky and Levi are gonna win this fight because it turns out that Freyja and EOD only had Zealots and a couple Corsairs, but against Dragoons and Mutalisks, just Zealots are not gonna do the trick. So they win the fight despite being completely surrounded. Drop onto Levi, loses 30 probes. 30 probes go down. That's the storm they had to hit, because now they have a lead. Byul still only on 20 drones, but a lot of Mutalisks in the middle. He's just making Mutalisks non-stop all the time. So Levi, in a pinch. Levi, not in a great shape. But Doromi also does not have a low supply. He's got a good economy though. The War Command Center, he's got 9 factories. He's producing a lot, but isn't enough. EOD is switching away from that Corsair ball. Still has a couple of them alive from earlier, but he's trying to transition into a large gateway army. 46 probes in total. Very good army spread on the middle from Levi, Lucky, and Byul. Getting complete control. I really like what Levi is doing. He's got a great sense of spreading his units out. Drop comes in onto EOD, gets hit really hard, even harder than Freyja hit Levi, down to 21 probes. That was the last thing he could afford to let happen. Because now it's game time. Now it's time to strike for Team Byul. A lot of Muse on the middle, going for the attack. And we have Doromi. Excuse me, we got Levi joining the party. High Templar on the high ground gets taken down. Zealots caught in the middle, nowhere to go. And Freyja gets pushed back into his main base. EOD there though, trying to provide protection for the tanks. Drama's on the middle. Goliaths aggressively pushing forward, maybe a little bit too far forward. You can see them, they're trying to go for it. Big, strong combination of Zealots and tanks and Goliaths on the middle. A very strong army, But they got a good surround yet again from every location, every direction. They're coming in. Zealots, Dragoons, Mutalisks, and High Templars. A lot of tanks. Oh, those Zealots were all balled up, like 16 of them caught under a single storm. Most of them go down. EOD's army has evaporated. Levi, Byul, and Lucky might just do it with this one definitive push into Doromi. Doromi is losing tanks, doing a lot of damage with those tanks. But the tanks, there's just an overpowering force. Although we got Freyja coming in from behind to try and save the day. Storms coming down left and right. Mutas in the air trying to kill the Dragoons, but the Dragoons are pushing them back. And it looks like in the end, Team Doromi wins the fight on the middle. It looked bleak for a second, but the army from Freyja coming in from behind saved the day. Which now means that Byul is in trouble because Dragoons and Zealots are marching in on him. Although the Dragoons have to stay in the middle, they call GG, they know it's over. And finally, they get their first and only win of the day. Because you only have 5 games. But Byul, Levi, and Lucky lose in the end. Freyja, Doromi, and EOD finally get their first win after 5 games. And oh boy, was it a hard-fought one. It's kind of interesting though that the final game, despite being the shortest game, was the game with the most action happening. The other games were a lot of drop dodging, running back and forth, trying to stay alive, but this final game was just pure fighting, movement, back and forth, all over the place action right from the start. right from the start. So Byul couldn't stay alive. That's the one downside of being Zerg. You're just not very big. That's just the way it goes. There's just too many things to try and control when you are a Zerg. You always have to produce units. You're never allowed to grow because you got to keep up with two races that can build workers and units at the same time. Zerg has to either make a choice. Do I make drones or do I make units? There's only 3 larvae on every single hatchery. The choice is difficult on fastest map. Protoss and Terran just have way more minerals. So triple Nexus there from Levi in the end. Lucky still on a single Nexus. We have EOD, small economy, single Nexus. We've got Doromi getting a 3rd command center. And then we got Freyja with double command Nexus as well, with the biggest army on the map as well. So thank you for watching. It was RGB for RGB TV. I hope you enjoyed this change of pace, this little bit of diversity on the channel with 3v3 instead of 1v1 like I do 99% of the time. Usually it's all 1v1, and I'll be doing 1v1 for a little while longer again because this just takes a toll on me. There are a lot of details I cannot go into in 3v3 because there's too much happening when the pace of the game is this high. There's too many things happening. I can't keep track of their upgrades. He's got 202, 002, 11, 101, 2 Carapace. That's pretty good. Lucky's on 002. So they do have upgrades here and there. It turns out Levi had the best upgrades because he went for the most army. But thank you for watching. It was RGB for RGB TV. I already said that before. I'll see you next time. It's time to go.